Round one. Fight. Finish him. You suck. Fatality.
Here he is to save the day, but wrapping it up in his special way. Throw in a preview show, add some alcohol and here we go. Senor Batman, Senor Batman, Senor Batman, Senor Batman, Senor Batman, Senor Batman, Senor Batman.
Boom! Hola, señores, it is I! Ooh, boop. Senor Batman, and I'm back for your week 3 wrap-up! Well, that was really too long of an A. It almost sounded too much like the other word that it kind of sounds like. But so your week 3 wrap-up and your week 4 preview show. Now, sorry to start this off with a serious note, but so people have been there's been whispers. There's been people talking, saying things like, oh, Senor, why are your episodes, been late? Why are your episodes, really short? Why is, what's going on with you, Senor? You never even did a draft wrap-up. I mean, what's going on with you? And, well, to be honest, since the commissioner, aka Chronic Ross Debater, doesn't even watch these episodes, I guess it doesn't matter because he won't see this, but if you remember from last year's draft video, I'm at the draft, that video, in the beginning it showed me, you'll say, waking up next to the commissioner's wife. Well, I find out, a little while ago that she's pregnant, and I'm starting to wonder if it's going to come out with the mask and sombrero on. So, it's been on my mind. So I got, I'm kind of just all over. I'm like, oh no, what's going on? Is she going to give me for child support? Oh, how dare she? Freaking out over here. Gonna lose the whole Senor Batman empire to, some woman I was sleeping with that's, just happens to be the commissioner's wife. Now she's pregnant. I don't know. So, I'm crossing my fingers, So, but I think I'm okay. We'll see. I just, so I've been a little bit preoccupied lately. But I'm here. It's Wednesday. I'm back to normal time, back to normal thing. There should be a regular episode. Nothing crazy, hopefully. But that's probably why it's been a little different the last couple of episodes. It's just been kind of something on my mind, but I've come to terms with it, and I'm ready to move forward, whatever happens. If I'm gonna have my own little senor, then I will. Then I have my own little senor. Whatever. I'll make it happen. Anywho, but you don't want to hear about this shit no more. You want to hear about what happened in week 3. So, fuck it. Let's do it. Week 3 wrap-up. Roll that shit. Wrap-up. Okay, so, first up, hashtag wide receivers matter versus chronic roster baiter. Defending champion Chronic Roster gets another victory. He is now 3-0, 152.7, high score for the second week out of 3 over wide receivers matters, very respectable score of 127.3. Vikings D getting J-Mac, as it says here, aka Chronic Roster baiter, aka the commissioner, aka defending champion, 25 points from the Vikings D. Jordan Nelson comes alive for wide receivers matter, proving that, in fact, hashtag wide receivers do matter with 25.1 points. But regardless, wide receivers matter goes down to 1 and 2. Moving on, Richmond Rush. Hit my mic. Richmond Rush versus El Sacco. Well, El Sacco puts up 122 points, but Richmond Rush puts up 146.8 in the victory thanks to Marvin Jones's 35.5 points. Like, holy shit! Whoa! What a big score from Mr. Marvin Jones. And a big part of that gives Richmond Rush the victory. El Sacco now has 2 losses on the season. Starting to wonder, is he going to be the Sacco again? He's definitely in contention, but I think next week, as we will get to in the preview show, you will see why I think that's not going to happen. Excuse me. Next up, Slay Slayers winless going into this against Peterson. Hey! Yo, Adrian Peterson. 112.5 for Adrian Peterson to 110.8. So close. Slacey Slayers takes another L. And Adrian Peterson, gets a victory. Moving on. Martial Law beats down Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Other guy had 2 goose eggs. Still you lost. Man, 96.5 points. I'm going to show the box score on this one real quick. You'd be like, wait, what are you talking about? Well, if you didn't know, fucking Martial Law gets 127 points. Starts Gronk and Benjamin, gets zeros from both. Over here, you just have a shit week. I don't know what you're talking about over here, Ninja Turtles. But you have to pretty much suck if you're going to get beat by Martial Law when he has 2 goose eggs. Now, granted, Freeman went off. Prescott went off. Pryor went off. I mean, he had some very lucky plays. But the fact of the matter remains, 2 goose eggs couldn't overcome it. And not only does he not overcome it, he gets beat by 30 points. It was not even close. So, unfortunate for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but you suck now, at least for this week. 1-2 for him. Martial Law moves to 2-1. Lucky ass motherfuckers, all I gotta say about that. Gets a victory, even with 2 goose eggs. Next up in a very close matchup, welcome to Bohack's Pit. Gets lucky and gets the victory over I'm Sofa King. We tied it, which I still don't understand what that is. I mean, I'm Sofa King. We tied it. I don't, whatever. Anyways, he loses 97.9 to 96.1. Just low scores across the board. Bohack benefits, though. As you'll see when we go to the standings page, he's gotten really lucky this season. He should not be 3-0, but the A's. Just gotten very lucky. Next up, Rake Session, which kind of sounds like a rape session, but not ripe. Like, ripe, I'm going to do, not good. But whatever. 119.7 to 98.3. Mr. Moneyball takes the L. He's 1-2. But Rake Session gets a victory, moving to 2-1. Move to the standings. Alright, so, Division Uno, Kronk Rossbader, and welcome to Bohack's Pit, 3-0. Peterson, Adrian Peterson, 2-1, all by himself in 3rd place, as far as division record goes. White receivers matter, 1-2. Then you have 2 teams at 0-3. It's I'm Sofa King, we tied it, and Slay City Slayers. On Division Dos, Rake Session, Richmond Rush, and Martial Law all tied at top, 2-1. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, El Saco, Ray Charles Moneyball, 1-2. Now, I'm going to get a little bit into this week because it's been 3 games. You kind of got a feel now for, like, after 3 weeks, who's who and who's what. Obviously, things change, but looking at this, top scorer in the league, actually by a pretty healthy margin, is Chronic Rossbader with 415.9 points. Next up would be hashtag White Receivers Matter, who I might add is in 4th in the actual record, is 384.1. He's the 2nd best team based on points scored in the league. But he's not even really right now. He's in 4th as far as the record. He's got 2 losses. Just a little bit unlucky there. Next up on the thing is Rake Session out of Division Dos and Richmond Rush. Both of them have 382. Well, Rake Session has 0.7 more, but both of them at 382 basically. Next up, 360.4 for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Got beat by 2 goose eggs. Holy shit, he loses. But anyways, he gets 360.4. Then you got El Saco at 352.1. Then you got Martial Law at 348.3. And their last place in Division Uno, 327.3. So, as I was saying, what you got, the top 3 scorers. So this is very interesting. I'm going to get to this in a minute. So, basically, after the Ray Charles Moneyball, then you've got Slay City Slayers at 320.3, Peterson, Adrian Peterson at 319.6. Welcome to Bohack's Pit at 307.2. Now, Division Dos, kind of this matches, okay? For Division Dos, I'm going to start with Division Dos because Division Uno is way out of whack. But Division Dos, the top record also belongs to the top points man. Same thing with second place. Third place, it's not the case. Martial Law is in second, but Ray Charles Moneyball has the least amount of points scored, and he's in the bottom. So there's a little mix up there with points to that, but it's pretty straightforward. Those you'd feel like, okay, so those teams that won and lost are pretty much where they would have been, especially the top two and the bottom one. Division Uno, it is a fucking shitstorm of all types of shit. For one, you got Chronicle Estimator, 3-0, up top, highest scorer. That matches. So in both division, the record leader with the guy with the most victories also has the most points. So there's no weird thing where some person, whatever. But then you go to Wide Receivers Matter. He's fourth in the rankings up here, as you can see where I'm pointing. The third place in points is fifth. And then the next one down is Lacey Slayers, and he's in last. So all bottom three teams are second, third, and fourth, respectively, in points. No fucking shit. Then you go and look, oh, well, who's at the bottom then? Well, Adrian Peterson is fourth in points, third in division, so kind of floating in the middle. But 3-0. Welcome to Bohack's Pit. Second currently in ranking, owning of a playoff spot right now, is a lucky motherfucker because he has 307.2, lowest points in the whole entire league. He is just eking by. And there's a reason why. When you go to points allowed, least amount of points allowed against, guess who is at the fucking top? Welcome to Bohack's Pit. He's only scored 307.2, but against him, 285.7 points have only been scored. So what does that say, Batman, you say? Senor, what does that mean? Well, if you're not stupid, you would realize that no one is scoring points up against Bohack, otherwise he'd be sitting in the cellar. So that is going to come into play in a minute here. Well, you can see with Peterson, Adrian Peterson, the reason why he is in third place as far as record goes is kind of a similar thing. He is the second least points scored. Then you have Rosterbader, but see, it's kind of irrelevant for Rosterbader because he has the most points scored. So even if he had the highest one of this, it wouldn't really make a difference. He still would probably be 3-0. Or at least he'd be, positive record. He scored enough points to do so. And then, bottom of this list is wait, hold on. Don't want to fuck this up. Yeah, bottom of this list is Wide Receivers Matter, and I'm so fucking retarded, as far as points against, they've almost had 400 points each. 404 for Wide Receivers Matter, 378.3 for I'm so fucking retarded. And as far as record, those guys are sitting here in fourth and fifth. Just saying, might be two better teams here, because when you look at points scored, they're second and third. So, as far as for Division Dos, Ray Charles Moneyball has had the least amount of points scored against them, but he just has not scored the points. He's the worst team in that division by record, by points scored, and by points against. He literally has had the least scored against him, so he has nothing really to say there. Whereas, Kylo down here at the bottom, and even El Sacco, you could even say, they're both down here, 360, 352, but they've had a lot of points scored against them. So, that's basically that. Hold on. We're going to do this. I don't want you guys to see my login for my Facebook. I don't want you guys fucking logging into my Facebook and be like, oh, Senor, I have a mistake. Don't do it to me. It's kind of bullshit, You don't do that to me. Anywho, so let's transmit. Oh, look at it, there I am. Okay, so Mr. Michael Rakestraw, lovely man, very sexy, tall, slender guy. He goes fourth, and he does this for us every week. I didn't cover it the last few weeks. Should have been, but didn't. But anyways, this is the season tracker post on Facebook. If you're on mobile phone, you have to go to the Senor Batman Fantasy Football Americano discussion, group, and at the top it'll say pinned post. If you click that pinned post button, it'll give you this. And this is what this has. As your weekly high scorers, so far McFadden has 1 in 3. Week 1 and week 3, he was the high scorer. Kylo was in week 2. King of the Hill, Rakestraw was eliminated last week, so it is down to the final week, week 4, McFadden versus Mickle, a rematch like last year in the championship, but for the King of the Hill round 1. King of the Hill doesn't start till week 10. Then you got Survivor. Barton was eliminated in week 1. David Cade was eliminated in week 2. Luke Bartos eliminated in week 3. Highest single week scorer award so far would be McFadden with 152.7 just this week in week 3. Largest margin victory was in week 2. Kylo beat his opponent versus Nick Bartos, 47.3 points he beat him by. Longest win streak, both Bohack and McFadden have, which we'll get to in a minute why that'll be broken. And then division winners, obviously, that's not it. Kitty contributors for the trade at the draft, Nick Bartos and McGovern, $5 each. So now that we have that, that's basically it. So the only thing left to get to is there's some really good matchups this week in week 4. So let's go cover them right now. Want to come with me? We'll cover them. I'll tell you who's going to win. I do this every week. You should be used to this by now. You shouldn't be shocked if you're sitting there going, "Oh wait, he's going to cover the games and tell me who he's going to." Yeah, you fuck. Have you been watching? Never. I mean, come on. So it's called the preview show, and we're gonna get to it right now. Preview show. All right, you might be like, Senor, you're really ranty today. Well, don't fucking worry about it. We'll just get into the wrap-up and preview show. I'm just trying to get through this shit. I got a lot on my mind. Anywho, first up for week 4, big week. Rake Session versus Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Well, they're projecting, as of right now, they are projecting... Wait, I don't even actually see the project. Do you guys see the projections? I don't see projections. Maybe they need to do this. There we go. There's our projections. Perfect. So you got Rake Session on the left, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on the right. They're projecting Teenage Mutant Turtles to eke out the victory. Well, let's take a look. Matt Ryan, he's been doing pretty damn good. Last week, dropped 19 points. Has had 27, 24 the week before. They're saying he's only going to get 14.9 against Carolina. I don't know. I think they're going to have to throw a lot. So Matt Ryan, I think, will be okay. Running backs, I really like his running backs. Receivers, Demarius Thomas is doing pretty well. Alan Hearns has been struggling. Greg Olsen's probably the best tight end in football. That's confirmed right here. Sammy Watkins, if he plays and he's healthy, could be good. Matt Jones at running back against Cleveland should be good. Jets D against Seattle, that could be iffy depending on who's playing, who's not. And then he's got a kicker. We don't talk about kickers. Over here, Blake Bortles really been struggling. 19th best quarterback facing against Indy. They do have Vontae Davis back, I believe. So that makes that defense a little bit more scary. Hill and Duke Johnson, not the best. He loses D'Angelo Williams because obviously Le'Veon Bell's coming back in week 4. So that is going to hurt him. And I'm not going to cover the rest of this because I've already seen enough. I have seen enough, Ninja Bortles, buddy. I've seen enough. And I think Rake Session is going to take the victory. And if you want to call this my upset of the week, go for it. But I don't think this is my upset of the week at all. You know, it's a close game. If they were picking Bortles to win by a lot, I'd say Rake Session is the upset. But I'm not going to even say that's an upset. I think Rake Session gets the victory. He's got a team here. So whereas over on the right, Bortles he's really hurting at the running back position. You know, maybe Duke Johnson can pull something out and start being good, and Jeremy Hill can be more consistent for him. Maybe his receivers, he's got good receivers, can make up for it, but I just don't think they will. Next up is actually a match I'm going to skip. So then we're going to go to Slay City Slayers versus hashtag White Receivers Matter. And, right now, the way they have this set up is Slay City Slayers is going to beat White Receivers Matter. He's going to beat him. He's going to fuck him up. He's going to say, no, Slay City Slayer lives matter, motherfucker. I kick your ass. So he's got Andy Dalton in at quarterback. He's been okay. Last week was kind of a bad week for him. But against Miami, should be okay. Ingram Platt had a good week. Cameron Artis-Payne. Now, he didn't do shit last week, but that was against the Minnesota Vikings defense, who is probably the best defense in football as of this recording. This week against Atlanta should be a little bit different story, so he should be better. Robinson started finding his thing. Crabtree's been decent. Reed has been kind of one of those weird tight ends where every week he gets you good, okay points for a tight end, but you didn't spend $20 on him, Slacy Slayers, to watch him get you, 9, 7 points. And this week against wide receivers matter, a high-scoring team, I think you're going to need a little bit more. Next up, Travis Benjamin, kind of a down week against the Saints. Saints can't stop anyone. Rob Ryan left that team in fucking shambles. He's like fucking eating the freaking cheesesteak, and then he's like, oh, fuck, I was supposed to coach this team? And then they fired his ace, and now it's the person that's there now is like, oh, fuck, there's cheese everywhere, So anyhow, Redskins D against Cleveland could be good. It's kind of one of those things where the Redskins, beat the Giants last week, got really lucky, but I don't know if I don't want to depend on them to beat Cleveland. I mean, last week they got 5 points, 6 points, and the -1 in week 1. I just don't think that I would depend on them against Cleveland, but we'll see. Wide receivers matters team. Cam Newton, facing Atlanta should be better than last week. Murray, if he gets in the end zone, should be okay. Frank Gore, he's doing Frank Gore things. He's just, getting about 10, 15 points every week like he always does. Julian Edelman, hopefully Garoppolo's back, otherwise Edelman might be the quarterback. Willie Snead, if he plays, could be okay against San Diego. Sure, that'll be a throwing type game. Fleener seems to be on the same page with Breeze finally. Now, Jamal Charles, if he plays. Now, something to keep in mind here about Jamal Charles is Jamal Charles, next week, the Chiefs have a bye week. So they might bench Charles even if he's ready to go, just to give him a little extra time. But we'll see. He may not have a full workload, which might be an advantage to Slacy Slayers. And he's got Patriot D and Justin Tucker, so whatever. Basically, I'm going to say something here. So 1-2, 0-3, second highest score in the league over on the right side here. Slacy Slayers hasn't won a win yet. They are projecting him to win, but I don't think that's accurate. So what I'm going to say is that Slacy Slayers gets his first victory. And not only that, I'm going to call it my upset of the week. And you might be saying, well, how can you say it's an upset of the week? They're projecting him to win. Well, here's why. Slacy Slayers is 0-3. Wide receivers matter, like I said, is 1-2. Also second highest scorer. So I think that wide receiver matters, regardless of what they're projecting, is the favored team. And that's the way I'm calling it there. Slacy Slayers. Now, the thing is, if Slacy Slayers doesn't get the victory, the way I look at it then is that, okay, last year, Chronic Cross Debater started 0-4, starting in week 5, went on a tear, went crazy. So anything can happen. Now, I know it's a little different. There's an extra bench spot, which makes it a little tougher to do what Chronic Cross Debater did last year, but it's still possible. I've seen those waivers. There's people out there. So, anywho, next up, Marshall Law versus Richmond Rush. I'm going to make this one quick and to the point. Richmond Rush is getting the victory, and here's why. Because Cousins, he's really been just kind of The last 2 weeks, he's been good. Not great, good. So, should be okay against Cleveland, you would think. Freeman, honestly, I think that his points were only so high because Coleman came out of that game for a little bit. I think he's going to be close to come back down to earth this week. Beckham against Minnesota. Minnesota just shut down Kelvin Benjamin and Devin Funches. Neither of them had a catch last week. I don't really not scared of Odell Beckham Jr. Yeah, he's a little bit better than Benjamin, if you think so. But I wouldn't want anything to do with that. Considering also that Beckham hasn't even gotten in the end zone, something to keep in mind. Cooper against Baltimore should be okay. Gronk should be better this week. Benjamin should definitely be better this week. Pryor, iffy again. Yes, he's been good, but he's not been great. I mean, before last week, he didn't do shit. So, I'm going to go with Richmond Rush and speed this shit up. Next up, I'm Sofa King Weetade versus Peterson, Adrian Peterson, and they are picking Luke to take another loss. And to be completely honest, I don't agree. I think he gets the victory this week. Matt Forte, Melvin Gordon, AJ Green, Des Bryant could hurt him, but he's had a lot of bad luck. Corey Coleman out, Keenan Allen IR, Doug Martin's out, Des Bryant now in the thing. So could be interesting, but he's lost Peterson over here. He's lost Hilton is questionable even. So Lockett hasn't done shit. I mean, look at him. He's the 79th best receiver. He's had nothing last week, 3 points week 1. It's just I think Adrian Peterson goes to 2-2. And Sofa King Weetade gets the victory. Next up, El Sacco versus Ray Charles Moneyball. And this is another one that I kind of agree with the projection. I think El Sacco gets the victory. Reason why, like I said, I think Breeze is going to have to throw a lot in San Diego. And that could be an absolute shootout. He gets Le'Veon Bell back. He was already okay. He was in the middle of the road team. I think Bell getting him back puts him at the top. Rawls isn't nowhere in sight. Christian Michael should be a top type receiver. Running back. Julio Jones had a bad week last week. Only 2 points. But he's been solid before that. I think it was just a bad week for him. Brandon Marshall, hopefully back to full health. He picks up Julius Thomas against Indy. That should be good. LeGarrette Blount did wonders for him last week. Will Fuller, I think, will be good. Ravens D against Oakland should be decent, I would think enough. Won't hurt him, obviously. Over here, yeah, Luck against Jacksonville should be okay. Ezekiel Elliott against San Francisco should be good. Howard, I'm very questionable on. I don't know what I think about that. That offensive line in Chicago is just horrible. Golden Tate hasn't done shit yet. Even against Chicago, I'm still a little worried. Fitzgerald should do pretty good. Kelsey should be okay. Kevin White, he starts him every week. Last week he got him 9 points, which is good, but he's just, I just don't know if I believe in it yet. Mayo Sanders should do pretty good against Tampa. Seahawks D against the Jets. If fucking Kansas City was only in vacation, Seahawks should have a million picks. So, but like I said, El Sacco, I think, is going to get the victory. Now, moving on to matchup of the week. Chronic Ross Debater 3-0 versus Welcome to Bohack's Pit, also 3-0. So, as you can see, they are projecting a huge victory for Chronic Ross Debater, and I couldn't agree more. Yes, he's got a lot of people that are questionable. He's got some too. None of them really important, though. But the fact of the matter is this. Bohack's Pit has gotten lucky for 3 straight weeks. I think this is the week where his luck runs out. Chronic Ross Debater has the highest scoring team in the whole entire league. Bohack's Pit has the lowest scoring team in the whole entire league. It doesn't take a mathematician to figure out that Bohack's Pit should lose this game, and I think he will. Now, that is unless you believe in curses. Because I do. I believe in magic. I believe in, curses. And maybe Bohack is just so terrible that he brings people down to his level, and when he gets into his level, he thrives. And I think that maybe what could happen, that would be quite the upset, I would think. But I think Chronic Ross Debater perseveres through it, gets the victory. I mean, right now he's got Stafford against Chicago. Stafford always lights them up, so that, projected to get 19. He's the 3rd best quarterback right now. David Johnson, 2nd best running back. He should do well against LA. I mean, it's tough defense, but he also catches passes. Crowell, listed as questionable, but he should be okay, they were saying. Jeffrey, questionable as well. Probably just dealing with the knee injury like he was. Played last week, played fine. You can see here, he still got 9. He's been pretty around that 10-point thing. Not great, but not terrible. Mike Evans, 2nd best receiver in football. Kyle Rudolph picks him up this week. Now, obviously, he also has Delaney Walker, but Rudolph has a better matchup, I would say. And he's, 2nd best overall. He's been, you can see here, 8, 10, 16. He's been consistent. So, Charles Sims and Todd Gurley in the flex. Vikings D, best D in football. Facing his Giants on Monday Night Football. And then you got Vinatieri, kicker, who cares. Wilson should play, but he's going to be playing hurt. So, against the Jets might try and get to him, which could be a problem for him. Lamar Miller, he's been kind of just, He's not been elite. He's not been that. I don't think against Tennessee he's going to change. It could. I could be wrong. But I'm interested to see. They might be pissed off after last week. Houston got fucking bitch slapped. Just fuck you by New England. Dexter McCluster, that's a very questionable decision. 90th best running back. You can see here, last week he got, basically nothing. So, interesting to start there. Brandon Cooks and Shepard. Cooks had a bad week last week, but ever since week 1, when he went off, it's been kind of mediocre. Sterling Shepard, he's a stud. Zach Miller should do well against Detroit. He did well last week. As long as Hoyer starts. If Hoyer doesn't start, then maybe it might be different. It seems like Cutler doesn't throw to Miller like Hoyer was. Austin is a hit or miss player. You can see here. Last week he hit. Week 1 he missed. Week 2 he kind of was in the middle. So I guess it's hit, miss, or middle. I guess he's just a player. Cole Beasley, he's going to get his catches, he's going to get his 10 points, and that's going to be about 8. Raiders D against Baltimore, we'll see what happens there. So, like I said, the team on the left here, to me, has some big name players, some top ranked people, whereas the team on the left, right here just doesn't. I mean, just look at the rankings. 3rd best quarterback, 2nd best running back, 13th best running back, 31st best receiver, 2nd best wide receiver, 2nd best tight end, 23rd and 20th running backs, 1st defense, 6th kicker, and then you go over here and 25th quarterback, 21st running back, 90th running back, 12th receiver, 13th receiver, 5th tight end, 37th, and 36th in the flex, 30th defense, 6th kicker, so he's tied in kickers, oh well. The only 2 spots they say is here and here, so I don't know. What I think is going to happen here is I think, like I said, Kronk Rossberger secures the victory, moves to 4-0, the opposite of what he did last year, aka started on 4. Now, who knows what will happen? Maybe week 5 will come and Kronk Rossberger will fall right off a cliff. He's also been pretty lucky he's avoided the injury bug for the most part. He had Walker and Jennings get hurt, but he dealt with that last weekend. I had a better score without him. So, basically, that's 8. That's your wrap-up. That's your preview. That's your news of the day. I don't really have anything else to say to you. I just hope you enjoy this episode, and I will talk to you all very soon, aka next week when I give you the week 4 wrap-up in week 5 preview show. Then you'll see me again. Until then, I got money to save, diapers to buy, okay? Just in case. I mean, even if it's not mine, I just want to be safe. So, I got shit to do, alright? So, if you want to, PayPal me some money, help me out, go for it. That's cool. But if not, whatever. Oh, speaking of PayPal, the couple people, like, I know McGovern, I know Luke owed a little bit. There's like 2 or 3 guys that owed money still for league dues. Bitch, better have my money. That's all I gotta say. Until then, adios!